Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Glad to have you all here for today's trip, today's journey, because we're gonna see a place that looks extremely interesting, crazy, nuts, and a place that I expect to live up to the name. We're gonna go visit Hong Kong's infamous Monster Building. We're down here at the subway station, waiting on a train. All aboard. I'm not even worried about trying to get a seat. I just expect not to because Hong Kong is so densely populated. There's actually one right there. Maybe I'll take it, why not? Man, they set up the timetable on these trains just to make you feel bad. I literally just got off that and the train I needed was just pulling out. Even if I would have sprinted over here, there's no chance I could have made it. That being said though, the train system here is super convenient. And I did not expect to get a seat. I pretty much read that, you know, when you're in Hong Kong, if you're taking the subway, don't expect to get a seat. And of course, on my first ride, I got one. Now guys, where we're going today, you're gonna wanna take, they call it the Island Line. It's like the darker blue line. And you wanna go to Quarry Bay. That's where we're headed. Bing bong. Here we are, folks. Quarry Bay. Man, as soon as you walk out of that subway station, you just get confronted by these monstrous buildings everywhere. You can see the hills in the back, the mountains in the background there. It's pretty cool looking. It's so interesting to me to see the contrast here. Over here, you've got a whole lot of reflective, shiny glass. And then on the other side, you've got these old little homes, apartment kind of things, where people have lived for decades and decades. Such a stark contrast. Hey, they still have phone booths? I thought these things stopped existing in like the 90s. How cool. Doesn't work though. Tall buildings and tall buses. One of the trademarks of Hong Kong. A little market over here in the background of old, kind of dilapidated buildings. Although I'm sure they're not cheap. All right guys, well, welcome to the Parker Estate. This place is kind of well known. It's sort of viral in a way because they call it the Monster Building. This estate is actually a combination of, it's composed of 5 different massive buildings. This isn't actually the one that's gone viral. That's over that way a little bit. But this was all built back in the 1960s. Mainly to provide like subsidized affordable housing for lower income people here in Hong Kong. Plus back then, you know, there was the Civil War in China and you had a lot of refugees from mainland China come down here. They wanted to live in Hong Kong. And then after World War II, more people kind of flooded in. So this area just got so packed with people and there weren't enough homes. So they built massive places like this, what you're seeing here. So here we are 60 years later, it's still standing. You can tell it's been through a few storms, but it's still an interesting place, still going viral in 2026. And despite being in Hong Kong several times in the past, this is my first time being here. Hey guys, quick interruption. If you are here watching my video, there's a high likelihood that you have an interest in China. Well, personally, I think it's important that we all learn a foreign language, and I want to suggest choosing Chinese as your foreign language. First of all, by studying the Chinese language, you will really start to understand China on a much deeper level. Also, Chinese is the second most widely spoken language in the world, with over 1 billion Chinese speakers worldwide. People say that learning Chinese is so difficult, and let's be frank, in some ways it is, but it's not nearly as tough as you think, and the grammar is super easy. I want to encourage you to check out my channel sponsor, Excel Mandarin, and take advantage of their free trial lesson offer. You have nothing to lose and potentially a lot to gain. Excel Mandarin has bilingual native Chinese speakers based in the US who can teach you real Chinese, and they have the ability to take you from beginner all the way up to fluency. They offer 24/7 support, and they have all of the resources available that you could ever want. I learned Chinese by fumbling my way around on the streets of China. It was a really fun and interesting way to learn, but it wasn't very efficient.
If I'd had a native speaker guiding me and helping me along the way, I would have learned a lot more, a lot faster. So check them out today, sign up for a free trial lesson, and make sure not to forget the most important part. Be sure to tell them that Mr. Chopsticks sent you. Okay, now back to the video.
All right, guys, so we're in the complex now. The monster building. And this monstrosity, well, this beautiful monstrosity has 2,243 housing units. Some of those are, well, a lot of those are subdivided, split down into tiny little, just like man caves. And rent around here, even for the tiniest of place, will range from like $400 for an absolute tiny space up to about $2,000 per month, which is pretty crazy. I mean, when you think about what you could get back in the US for those kind of prices, it's truly no comparison. But you can see people out here taking some pictures, and because this is kind of a, it's become a, like I said, it's gone viral in a way. It's nothing new, obviously, but I mean, it is quite a sight to behold. And we're just here in their courtyard, you know. The ground level is just filled with all types of little businesses. Just on the outside there, you've got like everything from banks to Circle K's, 7-Elevens, restaurants, cafes, all kinds of stuff. And then actually in here, they have a bunch of little businesses too. Looks like you've got something here. Could that be funeral related things or something for traditional holidays? Medical supplies, laundry. Of course, they've got the obligatory massage spa over here. Got to take care of those thirsty local men, eh? But yeah, check this place out, guys. You've got over 10,000 people living in this space right around here. And up there you see their laundry hanging, all the sea of air conditioning units and windows, and what a crazy place, huh? I think this is cool. I'm glad that stuff like this still exists because, you know, it's just so interesting to see. In mainland China, you know, they've got this kind of stuff, but it's getting less and less, and now everything's mostly like new shiny skyscrapers, which to me, there's just nothing more boring than that. This place has got a story, it's got character. I think it's awesome. Got the Lucky Indian store over here. Smell the incense. Got the Kingfisher beer. Hi, hello. Smells good in here. Yeah, it's crazy to think that, I mean, a lot of the people that came here and have stayed all these years, well, I bet the relatives of those people and some of them themselves they're the landlords now, and I bet they're making an absolute killing out here because they got in here for cheap, but now they're the landlords and they can rent this stuff out, and they can charge a very handsome price. But you can see various people coming here because, you know, it's a well-known spot, getting some photo ops. All right, we just came out of that part there, and now we're like on the side of the building. You can see the East Pavilion. There's a lot of stuff going on over here. 7-Elevens, bamboo scaffolding, a lot of foot traffic. And I was talking to that lady at the restaurant, and she said there's another part that probably is better than the one I was just at since they were renovating it. And she said I should come over here and have a look. Must be right in here. Happy shumai. Oh, I love shumai. Those are good. All right, guys. Yeah, this is it. The viral spot. It's crazy. So, I mean, this is still part of Parker Estate. The place we were just at is part. This is also a part of it. It's all connected. These are all friendly neighbors in the Parker Estate. But the green mesh there is sort of screwing up the view. But hey, what can you do? You can still get a real feel for the scale of this place. And like I said, 10,000 residents right here. I mean, there's a whole lot of small cities in the US that don't even have that many people. And you've got this right here on half a block. Pretty crazy, huh? Yeah, over here I'm seeing even more people coming to take pictures, and they want that selfie. They want that monster building selfie. Yeah, so you could get a little tiny place that literally, it's probably like a tiny little, like I said, like a man cave where you can barely squeeze a mattress in there. You walk in the door, you got a couple feet, and you jump on the bed, and that's your room. That's gonna cost you about $400 US here. When I came in through that side over there, There was a sign and a security guard, and the sign said no trespassing, private property. But I saw so many people coming in here, and as you can see, they don't care. I mean, they're used to it, they welcome it. But it did kind of throw me off. But yeah, so you know, there's a lot of videos about this place online. This is not going to be the first one, but the difference is I wanted to come around here and actually really show you what it's like and give you some details about it, so you know about how many people are living here. You kind of know the backstory to this place, why it was built, and like I said, now we're in the courtyard of this community, and what kind of businesses do you have like within the actual community. Salon, and again, just like the other side, you've got the obligatory massage place, and on that side too, another massage place, more salons. What other kind of shops do we have? An acupuncture center, laundry place, Cai Niao, I don't know what that is. Maybe some kind of like, looks like a kuaidi or delivery thing. Yeah, a lot of salons in here. You got a little cafe place called the Ice Bean. Got some dirty coffee in there. That sounds kind of good, dirty coffee. Looks like you got a little art gallery here. So it looks like, in a way, it's kind of slowly maybe starting to become gentrified. I mean, I could see a place like this kind of, you know, making a comeback, because like I said, now it's kind of famous. It's a really cool scene, and it's got that kind of old style feel to it. I could see this place becoming gentrified and hipsters coming in here. And then after you drink your dirty coffee, you could swing over to the questionable massage place and see what kind of surprises await you in there. Yeah, just in the few minutes since I got here, I've seen a lot more people start to show up. People from, I'm hearing all different types of like languages and accents. You got Europeans over here. Heard some Japanese people over there. Those two guys there are Japanese. So yeah, you got tourists from all over the globe checking out the monster building. I think I might go get a dirty coffee. All right, guys, I'm over here at the Ice Bean. It looks like the dirty coffee has really caught fire here. You got a full house. I don't even know what dirty coffee is. I know I'm getting it because I like the name. Got the Taylor Swift on the radio. Let's see, where's the dirty coffee? I don't even know what it is, but it sounds good. So it's a very cold coffee. One dirty coffee, oat milk, please. That's damn near $10 for that one. Guys, I'm standing here in suspense, waiting with bated breath for my very own dirty coffee. It's the first in Hong Kong, and it's not just a drink. It's an experience that unfolds.
Yeah.
Oat milk.
Yeah.
Hold. Is it okay to touch?
Yeah.
I don't know how. Oh, thank you, sir. 谢谢. All right, guys, I got it.
Is thank you.
Oh, how do you say 唔該?
唔該.
Oh, 廣東話.
Yeah.
謝謝. 唔該. Cool, I got a free Cantonese lesson there as well. This is it, guys. Like I said, this is, I would say this is probably the most expensive coffee I've ever had. This is damn near $10. Let's try it. Okay. It's good. Slightly underwhelming. I mean, for the price, it's a good cup of coffee, but I think I have to mix it up. It says it's got the espresso on top, and then underneath that is the secret milk, but mine's not secret because I specifically asked for oat milk. There we go. Okay, guys, take two. It is tasty, but not sure it's worth the $10 price tag. Thanks for your help, sir. Thank you for helping me.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Because you're not getting paid, you're just helping.
Yeah.
That's very, very friendly. So the boss must really love you.
He is my friend.
That's why.
Yeah.
Have you had the dirty coffee before?
No.
All right, guys. Well, this is it. You know, the monster building. You've been here. You've done that. You've seen it, and you even tasted some of the finest coffee around. So I think for me personally, I've pretty much wrapped things up for this video. There's not really a whole lot more to film here, but it's definitely an interesting place. It's a place that's been on my radar for a long time, and I always knew next time I'm in Hong Kong, I'm gonna check this place out. So I've had a good time, and hope you guys did as well. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because I've got a lot more videos. 2026 is just getting started, my friends, and the train here at Chopsticks and Trains ain't stopping anytime soon. It's gonna keep on rolling down the tracks. But with that said, my friends, I am gonna go ahead and wrap things up. On to the next destination. So thanks again for tuning in. We will catch you all in the next video. 下次再见.
Thanks for tuning into today's video. If you enjoyed what you saw here, please make sure to subscribe to the channel because I have a lot of exciting things on the way. So far, we've got videos from China, Japan, South Korea, Cambodia, Thailand, various parts of the US, and of course, a couple series of my Great Appalachian Tour, and much more. Things are only getting started here on the channel, and it's not only my pleasure, but it's also my honor to bring you along for the ride. I want to take this opportunity to give a big shout out to all of my YouTube and Patreon supporters, regardless of what tier you are in. I genuinely appreciate all of you. I do want to give an extra special acknowledgement to my PSHO tier members who go above and beyond in their contributions to this channel. Thank you guys. And then last but not least, I want to give a big shout out to my top tier supporters. Lee, Martin S., David is Dawe, and Monster Glow for their extreme kindness and support. With this kind of support, there's a possibility that maybe one of these days I'll be able to commit to doing this full time. Yes, that would mean living on the road and taking you all to places all around the globe and giving you honest, unbiased content from countless locations, most of which tend to be off the beaten path. So with that said, we will see you all in the next video.
What do you look for beyond the sea, grasshopper?